Welcome everyone. We apologize for the slight delay as the runners are already off. But joining me today is Bad News Nate.
Hello.
And today is an interesting race. It's Kovolta's, I believe, second race, Rob's first race. And we have currently a release starter card, which is interesting, and it looks like it's a Saturday card with the bug catching contest.
Yeah, with the bug catching contest being on, unfortunately, the runners will have to set it to that day. They could set it to any day except for Monday as well because of the give a Pokemon haircut goal. But the bug catching contest is going to be very important as well because they could do it on either a Tuesday, Thursday, or Saturday.
Everything's a little bit choppy, so we'll kind of be going by the seat of things. Apologize, everyone. There was some slight technical, unfortunate circumstances. So the ROM card has been restarted, and the runners should be starting soon. So now that we actually have a little bit more time to look at the card, Do you want to talk about that, or let's talk about our racers? I don't know as much about them, but Rob the Gamer I know has been doing. This is his first game, and I believe this is Kovolta's second game.
Yeah, I believe this is Kovolta's second match in the tournament. Rob, I think, is, as you said, making his debut here. So I don't know much about the runners. I forgot who Kovolta faced in the first match. But yeah, as we mentioned before, this is Rob's first match of the tournament.
Okay, so it looks like... Oh, third. Kovolta's third.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Tiger Tier, for clarifying
Yeah,
it.
this is his third.
Kovolta lost the horse, but beat Iroh. Right. They played just yesterday.
Yeah, so this is Kovolta's third match of the tournament here. Kovolta currently stands at 1-1, and a win here would probably help his cause to advance into the knockout stage.
Yeah, so facing horse is a little bit tough, as he's the favorite in that group. But other than that, I think the group's pretty wide open, so it'll be, I hope, for a good match today.
For sure. So it looks like both of our runners have taken the victory bell, which was in the middle. Now, I didn't get a chance to check and see what the other two starters were, but it looks like both of them are settled on the victory bell for right now.
Yeah, although it looks like Rob forgot that we have start with bike. Oops.
He's doing the old school strats.
We did start with the same CV, right? On both sides? I didn't quite get a look.
Yes, we did start with the CVs at the same time.
Oof.
I don't think
Rob will know.
Remembers.
That's really unfortunate, because it's going to slow him down at least about 5 to 10 minutes from what we've told from our old ways of doing bingos.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate.
And thank you to our viewers as you're trying to get everything set up and made sure everything was working. The starters were Squirtle, Venomoth, and Victory Bell. But it looks like both of our runners took Victory Bell. With the TM42.
TM42. So we'll see what it is here very shortly, because I'm sure Kovolta's going to look at it. Oh, Razor Wind. So according to what I'm looking at on the card, enhanced crit rate is on the card. So potentially, if he doesn't find a Mon with that type of move, Razor Wind also counts in that category. So far, nothing on Route 30 for both of these runners. Kovolta is looking at a Gyarados, though. Now, Gyarados is not terrible as far as but it is very susceptible to Electric-type moves. Oh, that is a critical hit. Oh, that is unfortunate for Kovolta. And primarily the reason why it was unfortunate there is because Kovolta never took the Pokemon Center in Cherry Grove, so he got sent all the way back to his bedroom, where he has to start over on Route 29. Ooh, that's a nice find there from Kovolta, though. That is a Magmar.
Magmar's pretty dang good. It's a little bit on the fragile side defensively, but
Oh,
it's
and it's
always
got
good to see.
Psychic. Okay, that's actually not bad at all. We'll just have to wait and see what other moveset that Magmar has. But it could be a possible main switch here. Toxic Steel Wing Extreme Speed. I think it could be workable, yeah. So while we have a minute to have the runners go ahead and go to their respective locations here, and speaking of locations, let's take a look and see once again the card. What goals stand out to you the most?
The ones that stand out to me the most is that center goal as baby Pokemon, which can be a little bit difficult to get. And oh, looks like Rob found the bike.
It took him 5 minutes. Smiley emoji.
I mean, at least he found it now before too late.
Yeah, it's better now than never. Actually, that's perfectly fine. He didn't lose that much progress compared to Kovolta, because Kovolta wiped all the way back to Newbark to his bedroom.
Oof. That's why when we try to do this, you want to try to center in Cherry Grove to avoid that kind of thing.
Yeah, I was just mentioning that with everyone here as well. Like, Cherry Grove, you always want to take the center there, even if your main is faster than any of the wild. Oh, speaking of the wild, that is a Ursaring on Rob's screen.
You know my cry.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
that is an angry Ursaring. That is an Ursaring that kicks hard.
That really has to hurt.
That doesn't necessarily mean it's runnable, but Ursaring is one of the most strong, one of the best Pokemon for Cinco Bingos because it is a normal type. It has 130 base attack and has a workable special attack. And with that moveset, oh my
gosh!
And I think Razor Wind was a Kran's critical, which they should be marking anytime soon.
Yeah, they still have that in reserve just in case if both of our runners decide to teach that. But Rob finding a very strong... And he finds a Charmeleon after that.
Well, Rob had it on the Ursaring, which means and he checked the moveset, which means we should mark it for him.
Yeah, we definitely should. There we go, that has been sorted out, and Rob does catch the Charmeleon. Ooh, Charmeleon has Headbutt. Now, if he decides to go with Headbutt strats here, he could potentially find a much better main that's at level 10. Now, speaking of Headbutt strats, Snowbear, do you want to go ahead and explain to our chat how Headbutt works and, what slots you can get out of it?
Well, Headbutt's a little bit weird because there are two different kinds of trees you could have, which are the common trees and the rare trees. The rare trees actually spawn much higher rate, but it's basically two different groups, and it's based on your trainer ID. So there are two different groups of 7 slots, and they're grouped by areas. All the beginning areas, 29, 30, 31, and 36, and are all the same group. So no matter which kind of tree of rare / common trees, you will get the same counter table.
Yeah, which is why when we try to headbutt usually early on, it's mostly on 29 where we headbutt, but if we find it later on, I mean, we'll headbutt in the same route depending on where we are as well.
Personally,
Oh, so looks like Rob is releasing his starter right now.
But I mean, I'm not as much a fan of Headbutt because it's a little bit hard to find a Pokemon, but you can never know what you can find.
Yeah, and from my personal experiences with Headbutt, it's been so bad. Kovolta finding a Mischievous there in the wild.
Mischievous is potentially a golden card, but it looks like it's not on there today.
Not on this one.
But he's going with a bear. I'm in love. Although this is a little bit on the weaker side, attacking side bear. Oh, and you can't run from when you've been mean looked.
Oh yeah, it mean looked, so that's the reason why I cannot run.
But for those wondering,
Kovolta also finding the bear, also finding the mama bear there.
Well, so for those who are a little bit or not as aware, gender is dependent on your attack IV, and the male is always the higher ones, and the female is the lower ones. And depending on your gender ratio, you can know what the attack range is. So, for example, a 50-50 male-female ratio, like Ursaring, means that if you have a female Ursaring, you have 0 to 7. If you have male, you have 8 to 15. However, it's not the biggest of difference, but a lot of people will know a little bit of a change.
So it looks like Kovolta is also opting to go with the Ursaring.
Also, for those who are not sure, if you see that level ball, it actually acts like a master ball with the speed choice. I believe it has to do with the maximum catch rate everything's set to, being 1 in 3 chance, that makes it act like a master ball. So it's an alternative for them that they can use.
Yeah, it's definitely a good alternative as well. Like, once you find it, it's basically a guaranteed catch to whichever Pokemon you decide to encounter. Speaking of encounters, Kovolta did catch the Charmeleon, so he has that goal too.
Yeah, so just for clarification, it was Razor Wind that, as we just talked about, where is a hands critical hit move. So it was marked for Rob because he caught the Pokemon with the enhanced crit rate.
So for enhanced crit rate moves, for anybody wondering, it is Razor Wind, Karate Chop, Razor Leaf, Cross Chop, Arrow Blast, and I forget which other one.
Slash.
Slash, thank you.
So we have Arrow Blast, Crab Hammer, Cross Chop, Karate Chop,
7,
Razor Leaf, Razor Wind, and Slash. Those are our 7 moves.
Yes.
We have a goal. It's even been used on me, because I mistook for one of the moves for a different kind.
Also, another thing I want to point out, Rob facing that youngster on 31, or not 31, but 30 early on, and he found Magikarp information. Now, Magikarp is another goal that could go potentially towards Berry Juice or Elixir, so keep that in mind, chat.
That one is actually a more complicated formula that I do not know, but it is a chance. Basically, you have to have a big enough Magikarp, and the size has... it's a very complicated formula. So it's really... I don't even know what the percentage chance is of even having...
I think it's pretty
enough.
Low percentage odds, if I'm quite honest. I've only done it once.
It feels that way, but I'm not quite sure. It has a bunch of factors in, but it is an alternative way of doing it. It is one of the guaranteed ways if you catch enough Magikarps.
Yeah.
The other way, of course, with Shuckle turning a berry into a berry juice.
Yeah, that would be.
Or you can just pick it up on the ground.
Yeah, that would be the optimal way to do it. But yeah, if you try to go for the elixir strats with Magikarp, you have to go to Lake Rage, talk to the gentleman in the house right before where Lake Rage is, and he will ask to check the weight of the Magikarp, and if it's heavy enough, you get an elixir.
Well, it's more the size, but yes, same deal.
Yeah, the size, still the same thing.
And it looks like they are both of them facing that trainer. Max phone book's on the card, right?
Max phone book. Let's take a look.
Actually, I don't think so, but they're getting it for experience.
Yeah. Rob wasting no time though on that level 9.
Well, his
the
Dugong
from
Headbutt has been doing a very good job.
Oh yeah, Dugong is runnable if you have the correct moveset.
It's a workable moveset. I wouldn't necessarily do it, but it's we can do.
Well, if you're gonna get past Falconer's Gym in a very efficient time, yeah, it would be best just to stick with the Dugong for right now. I mean, it's not a bad Pokemon. It's just it's got a workable moveset at best.
Yeah, it looks like both of our runners have the same goals right now, which is good for them. But this race is still wide open, so you never know.
Yeah, it's still like about 14 minutes into the race here, so anything could possibly happen in the next, like, let's say, like 45 minutes to an hour. Stay tuned, you guys. It should be a good one.
So, looking at our general routes, we have some guaranteed goals that we know, and it looks like at least we have the makings of most of row 5 and column 4.
Also, a flying poke in Faulkner's gym. What kind of rando?
Oh man, this is rough for Rob because he is burned, which means his attack is halved in addition to taking damage.
And it has Mega Horn. Oh man, that thing is angry.
But it looks like both our runners have caught, I think, almost the exact same Pokemon except for the Dugong. Alright, and that Fearow is taking no prisoners.
Not at all.
Megahorn is not anything to sneeze at.
Yeah, so it looks like Rob might take a wipe here.
Oh my gosh, Rob has several high crit moves.
Yeah, we just saw Slash on a Charmeleon. What kind of rando?
And oof, rough wipe, but that's all fine, considering Rob is still a little bit in the progress lead.
Yeah, he's still got a decent lead, at least, in this gym, so he should be fine for right now. But he definitely has to be prepared for that Fearow.
And that's a Clefable. Unfortunately, that's not on the card today, as our Stone Evolution of the card is Poliwrath Slowking.
Yeah, it's the only one that requires a Water Stone. Also, the Dugong getting burned again for the second consecutive fight.
Has that been using Sacred Fire?
Flamethrower.
Oh my gosh, that's a 10% burn.
Oh, and that was a critical
as well
hit
from the Fearow. Uh-oh.
Oh. Did he save?
I don't think so, but he can always take the wipe. He did Center and Violet.
Yeah, and this is not helping as well, considering that, you know, if Game Corner becomes something in his path, that he's going to be really deprived of money here.
I don't think this should make that much of an impact. It's still pretty soon. But critical hit is very good because it overcomes any negative attack stages you have.
Yeah, that was a very clutch critical hit there by Rob. So he's done with Faulkner at about 16.5 minutes, which is not bad.
Considering the struggles with the wipe, I'd say that's pretty darn good. And he equips the scope lens to make sure it crits more often.
Oh, is he gonna commit to the Dugong?
I mean, at this point, it's got the high enough levels, and with bingos, it's really not as strict about what main you're running. So
yeah, it's very interesting.
I'm all for this.
Oh yeah.
I am a little sad he's not running the bear, but I'm not sure what Kovolta's running. He was having a hard time finding a main. And I think he's going up Sprout Tower.
Yeah, that's very interesting. I could see why, if he needs levels like in a hurry, I could see why he's doing it. But yeah, Flash is not on the card. So he might just only stick around for maybe one trainer.
I don't know. If he was sticking on in for one trainer, he would have fought that first trainer. He might be also trying to get some of the items in Sprout Tower as well.
That spinner that's on the first floor, that also has 3 pokes as well, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so it's still the same thing, so yeah, you could make a case to fight the first trainer.
Oof, this bear is having a hard time hitting a move.
Ooh, that Mega Horn keeps missing. Yikes.
You know, they say when it's 85% accurate, but it feels like it misses 85% of the time. Just saying.
Yeah, that's very true.
But that Burst-Ring has a very good moveset, as long as it doesn't miss. And Rob is going through. He's not actually repelling. I did a couple bingo races with him, and he says he doesn't like to repel that often.
I'm going to be honest, I didn't repel that much in my race against Easton on 32. I saw a couple of good encounters there as well. Speaking of encounters, Bellsprout is on that route as well. Now, I only bring it up, even though trade a Pokemon is not on the card today, it could be useful if there's something that is on the card that you could trade for.
Yep, but he does find a Dodrio, which is another flying type, which is good to see. A lot of our racers, though, just to kind of talk about the repelling, tend to generally repel more often because you don't want to be slowed down, and you usually try to clean up the card and find everything afterwards. But it's really a matter of preference. There is no right or wrong way, but he does find...
There is a baby poke, yes, in the form of Elekid.
And these encounters are exactly why it's not wrong to not repel.
Yep, that is exactly why I agree with that play. Oh, he's just going to use the level ball. And now I question why he would use it early, but then again, I can understand because Baby Pokes is a center goal. Center goals are very important in these bingos.
Absolutely, but it's also that you don't want to be wasting all your Pokeballs, so it was refusing to get in, so I understand the frustration.
Yeah, and on top of it as well, again, you have to make a very critical decision as to whether or not to do Game Corner Pokemon as well. Game Corner is very important, especially if you have a lot of money to compensate for buying them. You need exactly 48,000 Pokedollars to buy all 3 of the Game Corner Pokes.
And it's in addition, most likely on their path, because Column 4, with their 2 goals marked, would be guaranteed as long as the Swagger and/or Thief TMs are not locked by Whirlpool Waterfall.
Or even, yeah, as you said, Waterfall. It would have been in Victory Road as well, so yeah. So Rob is obviously doing the right thing and checking the items here, see if maybe there is some expensive money items here in Union, so that way he can sell them and potentially get Game Corner Pokes later. But again, we'll see what happens. Ooh, as we were just talking about it, Rob picking up a Peepee, which is very good.
That sells for a lot of money. Vitamins sell for a lot of money, so that's very good. Kovolta is going through Sprout Tower. I think it's just for the levels, to be honest, but it's going to help him out immensely.
Yeah, the big question is, hopefully he did buy an escape rope to at least get out of the tower early. Now, I can understand...
that would be... Yeah, if he didn't, that would be the unfortunate walk of shame.
Yeah, now, another reason why I could see is because potential information could be of use. But at least from what I know of, I haven't seen any information as far as Pokemon or anything else on the card.
There hasn't been too much so far, but we'll keep our eyes out for it. I think since they both sit on daytime, they don't have to worry about the bug catching.
Why does Elder Lee have 2 Abras?
Well, in case the first one was enough.
You would think Abracadabra. Whoosh.
That would be too predictable.
I'll leave it there. Alright, he does hit Mega Horn, so that should do it. That's actually very nice. Now, the only problem with the bear is that it is very slow. It's one of the slowest mons in the game, but it does compensate for having 130 base physical attack, so it is very, very good.
It's around 60 speed, which is on the slower side, but it has more than enough defense. I think around close to 100 defense, I believe. It also has 75 special attack, which makes it workable if you have special attacks.
Oh yeah, for sure. But speaking of which, there is a Chansey on Rob's screen.
That is a juicy sack of experience.
Yes, it is. That'll give him at least a level and a half there. Now Kovolta fighting the first trainer in Faulkner's gym, and he's going to see that there's a Flareon. Ooh, Flareon has Octazooka. He did not lose accuracy there. No, now he did. Oh, that's actually going to be very rough. Alright, does land a Mega Kick, and it doesn't faint!
Well,
ooh, that's rough.
oof.
And there it
oh
goes.
no, the what? A bear? Oh, hopefully, I think he saved before, so he should be okay.
I think he saved, yeah.
Yeah. That Flareon is also a very good attacker, although it's the physical defenses and speed. Physical defenses and speed are relatively low. So the bear, if he uses Shadow Ball, should have a good chance of killing quickly.
Ooh, nice critical
Meanwhile,
hit on
Rob is
Outrage.
pushing through Slowpoke well with very little issues.
Yeah, very little to no issues, but yeah. The only issue he had was that a Meganium with reversal, but other than that, nothing else up to this point.
Either way, I think it was a good move for him to teach the Outrage and just keep going. A lot of times you just want to beeline your way to Fly. Once you beat Chuck and get Storm Badge and get Fly, generally we end up with the cleanup phase. Right now it's still the setup phase for the most part.
Yeah, and it's still very early on the setup phase. We don't talk about cleanup phase until either the runners get Fly.
So right now it's interesting because we're still lacking a lot of information, so we don't really know what the route is going to be.
Yeah, anything could still pop up later on. Like, the big advantage that Rob has is he has a baby Pokemon, so if he finds one more, then he'll definitely have center goal for sure.
I just hope that our runners are both stingy with the money, because they're most likely going to want that column 4.
Yeah, I could potentially see column 4 being in their path if TM34 or TM46 exist, if they're not Waterfall or Whirlpool locked, as you mentioned.
Oh, and a good miss a couple times by the Wobbuffet using Rolling Kick gives Rob comfortable
two misses in a row.
Comfortable way of dealing with the 14, which can act as a wall a lot of the times.
Oh,
oof, and I spoke too soon.
Well, the good news is Wobbuffet is slow, so Rob could still get away. Oh, that is a flinch! Oh, Wobbuffet got the 1 in 10 flinch. Yeah, it looks like Rob had to use the Revival Herb there on Dugong, unfortunately. So
both of our runners have used that Revival Herb, so it's been kind of rough for them. But Kovolta is through Faulkner, and he's going to be heading off. I think he's sticking with the bear, but I didn't quite check. Meanwhile, Rob is starting with the Zelia Gym, and he's fighting the right twin. So do you want to go in a little bit about the mechanics about the twins, left versus right twin?
So usually both twins, they will have different mons depending on which twin you decide to fight. So for example, if you choose left twin, they will have 2 Pokemon to fight. The right twin will also have 2 Pokemon to fight, but except there will be 2 different Pokemon that you will face. One as opposed to the other for the most part.
So this is actually an outcropping because in the normal games, it's like they're trying to simulate a double battle before those existed. So they usually had the same Pokemon, but in different order because one had, depending on which one you talk to, because of the simulated the double battle. But because they're encoded as different sets of trainers, when we have the randomizer, they actually are coded to have completely different Pokemon. So it's really an interesting goal because a lot of people like to go left twin, and a lot of people and others like to go right twin. And it makes no difference.
Yeah, from a personal standpoint, I usually go left twin.
I think a lot of people like to do left twin because it's closer to the left side, which is faster way to go through the gym.
Kovolta fishing, it looks like, and he finds a Kingler that has Protect. Now, Protect, Detect, or Endure is not on today's card, but it usually is a goal that runners will look for.
Kingler is also a pretty strong Pokemon.
Yeah, it's a male Kingler as well, which is very nice.
Unfortunately, its moveset is not as nice.
Yeah, it's not the best. Like, you can make a case for Sky Attack, but it's a 2-turn setup move, and 2-turn setups are usually not that great.
It also has a high chance of missing, so overall,
Yeah,
it's pretty rough.
Sky
to
Attack
rely
is
on
like,
that.
what, 90 accuracy, I believe?
I think it's less. Or it feels less.
Yeah,
like
it
less.
feels like, I think it's like 90 accuracy, if I recall correctly.
I'm not quite sure. Regardless,
Meanwhile, yeah, it looks
Rob
like
has now
Rob...
defeated Bugsy.
Oh yeah, he's gotten past Bugsy in a hurry, might I add. So he's making pretty solid progress up to this point. Also, now we know the TM that was in Union was actually a dig TM, so our runners don't have to worry about buying escape ropes.
Yes, it should save them some money if they were to teach it.
Ooh, that is a very useful TM there. Thunder Punch from Bugsy.
I'd be willing to teach it. It would help get over any struggles with water types, which is
I
one of
would
the most
too.
common type Pokemon to find.
If I recall correctly, Dugong's physical and special attack are almost the same, correct?
I really don't know. I don't run Dugong. Usually out of a principle that's usually not runnable.
I can look into that really quickly. Give me 2 seconds.
Okay, so Charmeleon, he taught over Slash, but he still has some backups with high critical hit moves. And Rob is wise in saving before Rival 2. Rival 2 can be just as hard as Bugsy, if not
Oh yeah.
more difficult.
So, looks like, yeah, attack and special attack is exactly the same. It is 70 base attack, 70 base special attack. It makes up for it with its defense at 80 and special defense of 95 and HP of 90.
Yeah, generally, Dugong's slightly subpar. We usually are looking for a Pokemon with close to about 100 in attacking stat, but being able to take a lot of hits with a high HP and defensive stats means that you can kind of work through not being able to one-shot Pokemon.
Yeah, it's the only downside when it comes to Dugong's stats there. It might not one-shot I'd say about maybe 50-60% of Pokemon in this generation, if not a little bit more, because of how low its base stats are. Ah, another Krabby find. I think, didn't he headbutt for a Krabby earlier?
I don't remember that. I think it was he found a Bellsprout.
Yeah, he found Bellsprout in the grass earlier, but I think he headbutt a Krabby as well. Or unless... no, actually he found it fishing, I want to say? I'm not sure.
It was Kingler that was fished out.
Oh, it was King... Okay,
And that was by Kovolta. But meanwhile, he's doing the Qua game with the Farfetch. And he should be able to go through with optimal movement, being able to repel after the cut brush.
Not to mention also he caught a Farfetch'd in the wild as well, while that was going on.
Oh, and he's picking up an item. He is on the hunt for berry juice elixir or money items, and that calcium definitely will help in the money case.
Yeah, as you mentioned earlier, vitamins are very key when it comes to selling them for money. Vitamins sell for 4,900 Poké Dollars each when you sell them in the mart. So, vitamin items include calcium, iron, protein, HP up, Carbos, I think, is another one.
Yep, we have a bunch of them. The only thing that's not in this gen is zinc. That's in later gens.
Yeah, that's not until later on.
Tiny mushroom is another good chunk of money. It's like another 1,000, I think, or several hundred. So
yeah,
it's pretty
several
good.
hundred, yes. So if I was Rob in that situation, I probably would have went to go grab the headbutt TM and maybe that hidden item that's along the way as well. That could have also been money too. Just my opinion.
I mean, that's valid, but I think at this point he knows he's been a little bit on this. He's taken a lot of time with not repelling. That
Ooh.
generally kind of. I mean, he's checking items, but he's not going out of his way.
That's a one-tile
running from
encounter for a Lugia. Yeah, which is interesting. I despise Lugia and its cry.
You say that, yet I believe I have evidence otherwise.
Yeah, we don't discuss about that here. Anyways, looks like Rob is going to... is he going to make a beeline for the bug catching contest? It looks like he is.
There's also the national park trainers in there, which is a good source of income and levels early on.
Yeah, 4 trainers as well. I would probably, if anything, I would hold off on doing that until later, but it looks like he's going to do it now.
I don't know. I do think it was interesting that he's not immediately doing the contest, but
yeah, same.
instead of doing the park trainers instead.
Yeah,
although he seems to be going for, I guess, the TM.
I guess he's going for the TM now. I don't agree with that play, but hey, it's perfectly fine.
He may not be aware that when you're in the contest, you can pick up the TM and you get the easy way out when you quit.
Oh yeah.
But he may also try to be hiding the information.
Yeah, that's not a bad move there, if I'm quite honest.
I mean, it's pretty obvious if you with the bug catching contest and then mark the TM where that TM location is. However, the downside is about hiding that information is you have to bike there and out, which isn't that bad, but it feels like a long distance.
Yeah, and in relation with that as well, we've seen runners in this competition try to conceal information, if that makes sense. They've seen information as opposed to maybe another runner, and, you know, they try to force the opponent to maybe metagame, but sometimes they might do it the wrong way.
I know sometimes when it looks like I'm trying to hide information, it's more that, oops, I forgot that's a goal on the card.
Oh no, Rob is not saving before the contest.
Well, if it doesn't work out, he can always clock reset. So that's a possibility.
Yeah, clock reset is something you obviously want to avoid. And there is a jump luff here. I'm surprised he didn't try to catch it. That counts towards 6 flying types.
He's saying a lot of flying types. Quick thing to note, if you guys are not aware, when we have these things, it's marked as catch a goal. If you catch a Pokemon in the contest, as long as you don't reset away, it is marked in your dex as own. So you don't even have to finish with that Pokemon to count as caught.
That is 100% true.
Which means you can still win the contest while catching a Pokemon that would, for example, not win the contest.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, even if there's an individual, like, Pokemon goal that you see, like, Articuno Moltres Zapdos is an example. Like, if you see that in the contest, but it doesn't, you know, you think it's not going to win you the contest if it's too low leveled or whatever, you can try to go for another catch, and you could still keep that goal marked because it counts as being owned in your Pokedex.
So Rob did catch a Golbat at level 14. So we have a little bit of a bug catching contest calculator. That's an old Java program that I like to use. So it's about a 42% chance of getting first. And if he switches to Jump Luff, I can figure out what that is too.
He does switch to the Jump Luff here.
It's actually a little bit lower at 40%, but it's still not great odds. For the contest, if you're not aware, it deals with the Pokemon stats with the HP weighing the highest. Damaging the Pokemon will reduce its chances of getting first place, but it's very minimal effect.
Ooh, that's not a bad find there. Rob finding Pidgeotto, which counts towards 2 goals. It counts towards 6 different flying types, and it counts towards the goal itself.
However, it's only about a 15% chance of winning if he were to use it. Although it does have Razor Wind, which is yet another Pokemon with a high enhanced critical hit. I'm not sure how many players are aware of the bug catching contest calculator, because it is sort of buried into our resources and years old.
I've been recommended it before, but I neglect it.
I find it's useful because there are a lot of times, like for example, there'd be Pokemon you don't think you would win that have a higher chance of winning. And wow,
Oh
with
my
50%
gosh.
chance, Rob wins the contest.
Wow, that
And he
is
got 3 flying
really,
types.
really good.
Woo. We'll definitely have to ask
Excellent.
him about that, because I'm not sure he's super aware, but it's good that he marked both of them, yes, as appropriate.
Yeah, it's excellent work there by Rob.
I don't know why he's looking at Jump Luff, though, but it
Yeah,
counts as owned. I don't
counts
know
as
if he's
owned.
quite aware of that.
Unless he was taking a second to mark the goals on the card, probably.
Is that his 6 flying type?
We'll have to check and make sure. I think it's Pidgeotto.
Pidgeotto, Jump Luff.
Jump Luff.
He caught the...
Golbat, I think.
Yes, Golbat, so that's 3. He has Charizard, Dodrio, and I think he caught one more Pokemon with one more flying type.
I'm trying to remember what it was.
We'll ask him after the race to verify for us if he doesn't show it.
Oh,
Canyon was a Diglett.
was a Diglett, and unfortunately, Diglett is not on today's card.
Yep, that's rather unfortunate.
Yeah. Oh, and it looks like Kovolta just found an Ursaring in the contest. Now, the big question is he going to stick around for that Pidgeotto or Eradicate? Because he knows that he marked that and the bug catching contest at the same time.
Yes, so his Ursaring has a very high chance of winning, but the difference is that contest, unlike most ground slots, has 10 different slots rather than 7. And they're all at 10% chance, so it's not a guarantee to find any one thing.
Not at all. So Kovolta encountering the Jump Luff there. And meanwhile, Rob is on his way to go fight Whitney. Oh, Geodude with Stab Rock Slide. Oh, that's horrible to see. And down goes the Dugong. The Kenya almost got the Geodude with Octazooka there. Alright, Pidgeotto pulling through there for Rob. Oh, that's a problem.
Yeah, this wipe here would be very rough for him.
Yeah, he did remember
And
the
he
save though,
resets.
so he's still okay.
Oh, that's right. He does have 6 poke flying types because of the Farfetch you said he found in the forest. That was the one I forgot.
Yep, he does have 6.
I know when I'm racing, I like to do a tally mark for my flying types, so I don't have to check the decks constantly.
Yo, let's go Diglett with Octazooka taking care of the Geodude.
Kenya pulling through.
Oh, it also has Flamethrower, so we might see something here. Nope, down goes the Diglett.
Nope. Although, Kovolta does find a Diglett, although it doesn't look like he's picked up the stuff, but he did. I think Kovolta did win with a bear. I do like the bear with bear action.
I think it was Papa Bear that he caught as well, if I remember. Oh, and there we go. Rob getting past Whitney there. Oh, Spore.
Spore's a good move to learn, especially
He's not going to teach it.
if he were to, it would guarantee basically at least 1 or 2 times being able to attack. But the problem is it takes up a valuable move slot, so if you are struggling with coverage, it doesn't necessarily help your coverage.
Oh yeah, that's definitely for sure. Especially if you're running something with 70 base physical attack / special attack, it's not going to help at all.
And so Kovolta has picked up the TM on Route 35, but I guess it was not the one that he needed. And he's going to the gym, whereas Rob is now going to be heading to the Pseudo-Wudo.
And with that said, chat, any guesses on what the pseudo will be?
I'm hoping for the trifecta for that to be a bear.
So I guess while he's here, he's going to go, let's see, looks like he's going to give Pokemon a haircut, and I think he might pick up the coin case while he's down here.
I mean, I would hope so, because it's most likely on his path.
Oh yeah, without question.
Actually, row 4, now that he has the Pidgeotto, is a good idea, because
row 4
it's
is
now
very
guaranteed. Because you can easily catch a Pokemon on the 9th floor Tin Tower. Defeating all 4 National Park trainers shouldn't be an issue. And, well, he has the 2 goals that were the most tricky goals of Pidgeotto and the contest, which are really reliant on what's around.
Yeah, both of those were very good, especially the Pidgeotto. The Pidgeotto was actually one of the bigger goals on this card, considering it was not guaranteed.
Yeah. Especially when it was a 15% chance of winning. That's all relative on the low side.
Yeah, I'm very surprised that he won with that Pidgeotto, which was exciting.
I'm not sure if he was aware of its lower chances, but we can ask him after the race.
Oh yeah, for sure. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, I suppose. But it was very nicely done, though. Oh, speaking of which, Rob hits one of the optionals there in Spinner Hell.
The movement was a little bit off. To avoid hitting any Pokemon.
Actually, that is not bad for him. He finds Slowpoke info, so that is a Stone Evolution that'll help.
And yes, it's Stone Evolution that'll help with that goal on the diagonal. But to a little bit go on what I'm saying is that there's a movement optimal path to go through this part, which we call Spinner Hell. And if you bike up, and then as soon as you pass the last, you go 1 tile over her. And that 1 tile to the right is enough to avoid this trainer seeing you. But never punished, gets information anyways.
Oh yeah, that actually is probably one of the best case scenarios, because if he finds another baby poke, that is a free top left, bottom right diagonal there.
Ooh, and Heracross swaggering the Ursaring, but Ursaring says none of that shenanigans and demolishes it with a single Mega Kick and with its boosted attack.
Yeah, I also want to point out as well that there was a wild Pidgey on Route 35 grass, so if Kovolta decides to potentially check the grass there, there is a chance that he could run into Pidgey, and maybe he can get levels and evolve it into Pidgeotto.
Yeah, Pidgey is a very easy Pokemon to evolve. Just evolving at level 16, I believe, which is very low and very doable.
Yeah, he found it at level 12, if I remember correctly. Also,
and the TM on 35... Sorry.
No, go ahead.
The TM on Route 35 was TM 43, so that's not on the card. Not sure what we have, but it might be good to save it to sell for money.
Oh yeah, for sure. And one thing we got to point out as well, like, if the runners do find TM34 or TM46 and they accidentally sell it, we have to unmark that goal because, unfortunately, that counts as them not having it in their bag or in their inventory for that matter. Also, Rob hitting another optional.
Right, but on the other hand, Kovolta got that Pidgey on Route 35. Very critical, because now he doesn't need to go to the contest to get that Pidgeotto goal.
Oh yeah, and I just mentioned it as well.
Alright, so Kovolta is first to the Sudowoodo.
And it is a Chikorita, from what it looks like. Pretty good towards Bailey, Quilava, or Crocodile, but unfortunately, it is not on today's card.
Regardless, it is not... he seems to be not concerned with it.
Ooh, let's take a moment and look at Rob there. Rob just got hit with a Dynamic Punch and Jump Kick on a Snorlax. Ooh.
On the other hand, Kovolta unfortunately hit the Psychic. So... But he has Articuno information, which is a flying type, and very important, and it's a top right corner goal.
Yes, it is.
Our runners today have been getting very lucky in terms of optionals having information.
Yeah, this does seem like it is rather generous for right now, but it depends on, again, where the locations of these mons are going to be later on.
Also, that is a Smoochum from the trainer that Rob faced.
Yeah, that counts as a baby poke, so if a baby poke does... Oh, actually, Rob does have info on that Smoochum, and Smoochum looks like doesn't exist.
Oof, that's rough.
Yeah, that's not good. So Kovolta taking
nice
the center and
Hydreigon with the
Bill.
So, fun fact, once you've watched this cutscene, if you go back into his house, he will be at his house and you can get an additional free Pokemon. Free!
Another thing also why that also would help is if you go to Bill's house, you can also get a free phone number if Max Phone Book is definitely on the card.
Yes, that is true. But regardless, we have both our runners in Critique, so despite Kovolta's early struggles and going up Sprout Tower, he has caught up and is teaching Headbutt to Ursaring, which is very good.
Yeah, it's a great move. It's much better than Mega Kick, whereas Mega Kick is like, it's 75 accuracy. It is powerful. It's a very powerful stab move, but unfortunately, it is very inaccurate. So Headbutt is definitely a upgrade over Mega Kick.
And our chat here is teasing Kovolta a little bit, saying that they disagree with putting the Papa Bear in the box. Let the bears be round, right?
But Papa Bear wants to hibernate.
It's the summer though here, so I don't know about that.
I don't know.
It might be winter around where Kovolta lives.
We'll discuss about that later and see what happens. Wow, both runners are on the same Komodo girl. That's actually very interesting. Well, not anymore. Ah, they're both on the Dunsparce. This is so sad. Alexa played Dunsparcito.
Alright, so now that we've seen things a little bit play out, I think we have definitely the column 4, row 4 as our goals to CR, but it's a little bit hard to see what else is available.
Yeah, now that Smoochum doesn't exist, it's going to be very difficult to try to get 2 different baby pokes unless something exists, or maybe it would be one of the roamers as well, which we will find out very shortly because Kovolta is finishing up their last Kimono Girl, then afterwards it'll be on to Rival 3.
So you can see a little bit of the difference in the power of the mains. With kind of similar movesets, you can see how the Pokemon with a little bit stronger, with much stronger attack moves, can generally kind of pull back from any deficits in time.
So right now it looks like Kovolta catching a Togetic.
Another flying type. Good choice. And Rob is struggling a little bit with these fights. Those Snorlaxes are being very mean to him.
Yeah, as we mentioned before, the Snorlax has both Dynamic Punch and Jump Kick, which is awful for the Dugong. And he does get past it in spite of the confusion there from Outrage.
That's okay, he's now got Stab Surf, so he should be a little bit smoother sailing.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it.
While Kovolta's having a little bit of issue with his Togetic that refuses to get into the ball until just now.
The only healing item that Kovolta has is a heal powder. So something to keep your eyes on in case that Ursaring does get poisoned again.
I'm always an advocate for not repelling here, although considering he's already got 3 encounters, there's always something to be said about repelling in this area.
Alright, so Kovolta starting Rival 3. Yeah, so far this Ursaring, in spite of the early struggles with levels and all that, it looks like it's doing very well. Now, it looks like Rob is on Rival 3 as well, so both of our runners are on Rival 3.
Huh. Did Kovolta teach over... Oh, Kovolta did teach over the high crit rate move. Oh my gosh.
But he has another Mon that has a high crit rate move, that Charmeleon with Slash, remember?
He unmarked it then. We might have to mark it again. We'll have to double check.
Looks like it's... Yeah, he did unmark it. I thought maybe he did catch the Charmeleon. Charmeleon had Slash. We'll double check. Now, I do know that the Suicune for sure is a Furret. I didn't get a chance to check on the Raikou or the Entei.
It's a little bit hard. I don't know if we do it, but we can always switch to Rob's perspective now.
Yeah, we could very shortly and see what happens. Alright, let's go ahead and double check those roamers. Oh, those are very interesting. Not on the card, but I could definitely tell you that those other two roamers were Blastoise and Starmie, and then the Suicune being Furret. So again, Blastoise, Starmie, and Furret are the roamers for this one.
Where's Easton when you need him?
Yeah, where is Easton?
Perfectly viable Starmie roamer, which looks like Rob is going for the roamer strats.
I'm surprised that he is going for it. Yeah, he got out of there very quickly, which is a smart move. Ooh, that is a Rhyhorn.
Not a problem with this bear. It actually wouldn't have been a bad idea for him to teach Surf to this bear, but regardless, he's got Thunder Punch as a good coverage move.
Oh yeah, for sure. I bring up the Rhyhorn because of Rhydon, but yeah, it's not recommended that you try to go for it as far as like levels.
I think that's high 30s. Normally, I think it was reduced to either 30. It was probably reduced to at least 40 if it was higher than 40.
I will say though, in spite of everything that's happened here, it is still a very close race. Like Kovolta is fighting Morty right now, and Rob is just one trainer behind him. Ooh, that is a Mewtwo on Kovolta's screen. Mewtwo has Mega Horn.
Oof, oof. Not like this. Mewtwo is always a pain to fight.
Ooh, Rob's egg is hatching. It's a Cleffa.
Whoa!
Wow.
That's a second baby poke.
Yes,
Let's
it
go,
is.
Rob.
Wow, what a play by Rob.
I think we're... And Unfortunately, he did not get the Articuno information from that one trainer on 37, but that would be also pretty big. Although it also depends on course of the Quillfish.
Yeah, definitely. We'll have to stay tuned and check on that other diagonal goal and see if maybe Rob will get information for that later.
But yeah, this is also why I like to pick up both eggs and try to keep them around as long as possible, because you never know when it could just hatch into a goal.
Yeah, it just depends on what the potential mon is. We're being told by chat that Rob has Moltres info, so that could be useful.
He did fight some Moltres earlier, so that's also pretty big. It would help him also, well, if he had other information on any of the other rows, but right now, it's not something that's going to help him out exactly right now.
Yeah, not at this time.
Regardless, Kovolta is all the way through into Olivine.
So he's definitely going to go pick up Strength, and if I reckon correctly, Kovolta will probably teach Strength to the bear.
Oh, that is a Krabby trade for Aridos. It looks like both of our runners had some information on Krabby, but it is neither goal is on the card. It is Aridos Legend is not on the card, nor is Trade a Pokemon.
Alright, so looks like Kovolta is on 40. He's going to make a beeline towards Cyanwood.
That's a Boomerang TM? Oh my gosh, this Ursaring could be.
That Boomerang is very
so
big.
Much. Although it looks like he's holding off on teaching Strength to the bear, opting for Headbutt.
Yeah, which is very interesting.
Wait,
oh, he just taught over Cross Chop.
Kenya had Cross Chop. No! Kovolta, no!
I thought that, yeah, that was the Kenya, I think, that had it. So, yeah,
Oof.
he still hasn't marked anything related to that yet. We'll see if maybe Kovolta realizes that the Charmeleon has Slash later on.
We'll definitely have to, if he's in here, we'll definitely have to ask about that. You hate to see it.
All the while, Rob finally getting past Morty there. Morty and his Mewtwo. That Mewtwo was awful to fight against.
And into Cyanwood. I think he's going to deposit some Pokemon and check for Shucky. Although, it's painful watching him teach over the high critical hit moves.
Something that was also brought to our attention as well is that Kovolta still has the Razor Wind TM, so he can definitely teach that at any time if should he desire to do so.
Absolutely.
It's definitely not the end of the world as far as a high crit, enhanced crit rate move, excuse me.
Yes,
now,
but this is definitely worth making sure when you're running, double check these kinds of things.
The Shucky has Sweet Scent on it, so we'll see what it is momentarily.
And this is exactly why you check
and it's a tentacle
inside a house to avoid a teleport by accident, which did happen in one of our races earlier in this tournament.
Oh, that is Dynamic Punch on the Suicune. So I'm sure by this point that, yeah, just as I suspected, Kovolta does have some revives. Now, normally you can buy revives in Ecruteak, some of the runners, they usually opt to buy revives in Goldenrod Mart as well, because you can buy full heals there too.
I mean, you should also have an option if you were to do you should be able to buy, for example, full heals here in Olivine. Not Olivine, sorry, Cyanwood, from the special pharmacy. But yeah, Suikun's putting up a big fight.
Yeah, it seems like the bear is struggling against it because... Oh, and that thing is hitting dynamic... Oh, and it's a critical hit. Oh, no.
50% accuracy. Just saying, 50% accuracy.
Yeah, we've seen a runner get hit earlier during today's races with 4 dynamic punches in a row. And that's really low odds. It's not a bad idea to do Icy Wind here, because Icy Wind decreases the speed of an opposing mon.
Yes, it's one of those few speed racing moves, which means that he has a chance of hitting first. Nightshade, not quite what he needs right now, although it is a good source of damaging. Although, wow.
That is an Ampharos. That would have been also a good time to use that Bone Meringue TM against it. But with how the Ursaring is doing, I don't think I would have taught it. It's doing very well on its own.
Yes, we tend to have joke, as it was brought up in the chat that 50 times 200% secret AI bonus is equal to 100%. Although, what I like to say is that it's a 100% chance that the AI will hit it, and a 0% chance that you will hit it, to all together balance out to that 50% chance, or accuracy.
Yeah, which is very interesting to note out there.
This is all just up, but ooh, Cleffa information.
There is
very
the Cleffa
good
info.
for Kovolta.
So yeah, Kovolta seeing that second baby poke. So he doesn't realize that Rob hatched his egg and got the Cleffa out of there. And speaking of Rob, let's check in on him really quickly here. Just defeated the Suicune, it looked like. So it looked like he might have had just a little bit of trouble against it. Again, that Suicune had Dynamic Punch, so it was not fun to face.
But yeah, they're very much neck and neck, which is very good with this race. Although Kovolta is not marked as much as...
Cannon.
Oh, sorry. It does seem that they're both neck and neck, which is always good to see, because it means this race is very close, despite the goal differential.
Yeah, other than that, even though Rob has a pretty good lead in terms of goals, it's very close progress-wise.
Okay, well, they're basically about a minute or and a half between each other. Maybe a little more generous, it's closer to 30-40 seconds.
I'd say about 45 seconds to a minute.
Rob doesn't have the extreme speed PP to, I think, deal with... Oh no, but he has strength. Okay. That's much better to deal with the Blissey, with its high special defenses and very low defense.
Alright, so looks like Chuck's lead is a Cubone. And that is a Flaffy for his ace. And he get the flinch. Okay, so that was actually a relatively easy gym there for Kovolta. So Kovolta having no issues there with Chuck, and he'll be very shortly going to get Fly, and then he will start his cleanup phase.
I don't know if I would agree with no troubles. That Suicune did cause a lot of trouble, but except for the Suicune, he was doing okay.
No, I said specifically on Chuck.
Ah, my bad.
That's
I
okay.
have selective hearing.
That's okay. All right, so chat, with that being said, does anybody have any predictions on what the shiny will be for this ROM?
Oh, that's pretty obtainable, Cleffa, on Route 33 and Route 44. 33 having 7 slots only, so that's much more obtainable. Moltres is on Route 45, and he skipped over the Articuno info.
So while Kovolta is looking at Dex information, oh, Articuno is in Sprout Tower and Mount Mortar, it looks like.
So, Sprout Tower is relatively accessible. Since he's already gone through the entire thing, he should have no problem going to either floor.
There's 2 floors of 7 encounters each, so it's much easier to determine which is what. And all the while, Rob finishing up Chuck, and he will also grab Fly very shortly. Now, Kovolta going to check Bill's poke here and see what it is. It's a dugong. Oh,
so we have
irony.
The bear, and we have the dugong.
True.
Sounds good to me. And Charizard has now learned how to fly. All is well in the world.
Alright, all the while this is going on, Rob looks like he's going to probably go get the shiny. Or based on what it's looking like.
Seems so, while Kovolta is dealing with getting the haircut and the coin case.
Yeah. Well, let's check in on Rob and see what he's up to. Alright, so it looks like he is just going through Mount Mortar here in hopes that he gets a random encounter in there. Ah, that is my buddy, Machamp. Let's go, Machamp. Now, you might notice as well that Rob is intentionally going through that part of Mount Mortar because there is that one super nerd that you see right there on the right-hand corner of the screen that Rob has to fight. That'll count towards the super nerd that's on the card.
There is a different super nerd. However, you'll never see the people go for that because that one requires waterfall.
Rob finding Skarmory in back-to-back encounters there.
Not the Pokemon he's looking for, since he already has all the flying types he needs. Make it a trio of Skarmory. Or the same one 3 times over. I couldn't tell.
Yeah, that was 3 in a row. And then the super nerd looks like they just have a Cyndaquil. So it should be very easy work for the Dugong. And there it is. Ooh, that's actually very good for Kovolta. Kovolta finding a Kabuto in the water.
Ooh, that'll be somewhat hard to metagame.
Yeah, that's going to be very hard. And meanwhile, Rob finding Articuno? That is on the card.
I mean, it's a possibility. I mean, with an Articuno,
Oh,
you could give him a higher chance, but he is running from it to avoid giving away the information.
Yeah, that'll be something that he knows where it's at, and probably he'll go back for it later.
Although he's not aware that Kovolta actually does have that information already.
Yeah, both runners have info on it.
Oh my gosh, an Aerodactyl here?
Aerodactyl was also on 42, excuse me. That is very interesting.
I wonder if he's starting to regret not catching that Articuno now.
I don't think so. But the only problem now is that he is running low on Pokeballs. He's gonna have to grab some Pokeballs along the way. Oh no, he's on his last Pokeball.
You know, it does seem like Mount Martyr is just full of flying types, which is really interesting.
Yeah, we've seen Hoot Hoot, we've seen Skarmory, and Articuno. And Rob does catch the Aerodactyl on the very last Pokeball that he had. So now he's going to have to go buy some Pokeballs. Now, the only problem is if he's out of Pokeballs, he's not going to be able to catch the Shiny.
You know, he's gonna have to hope that the Shiny's on a card, because he didn't go buy the Pokeballs from the Rockets there.
Yeah,
so.
which is really interesting, because yeah, if the Shiny is not on the card, then yeah, that's gonna be horrible. Well, if it's on the card, rather, excuse me.
And it looks like Kovolta did find that Articuno he had Dex for earlier, so it's perfect timing.
Alright, let's see what the Shiny is. It is Nidorina, so Rob lucking out there. It is not on the card. Shiny is not on the card. Nidoqueen, Nidoking is not on the card. So he very much lucked out there.
It is very pink, I have to say. I do like that color shade.
It is very pink, I do agree.
So I think this really opens up Kovolta's path, because he's going to have row 1, and potentially potentially column 5. We're still waiting on Golem Rhydon information, but he does have row 1, which is very good.
And if he does evolve that Pidgey that he caught earlier, so probably row 4 as well, and maybe column 3. The way I see it right now, I would probably say it would be row 4, column 3, top left, bottom right, row 1, and potentially, if they find Coilfish, Corsola info, or Golem Rhydon, it's either going to be row 5 or column 5.
Yeah. Kovolta dexing for us that he had 6 Pokemon, very helpful for him to see that he has it as well as us.
Yeah, definitely very helpful to show that you have 6 flying pokes there.
And he successfully defeats the Super Nerd, so that's giving him another way to do it. He just needs some baby Pokemon.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Also, hello, Ammonite.
Oh
like
wow!
Balls everywhere.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. So it looks like Rob right now is going to defeat the trainers in National Park. And that'll give him his first bingo of the run.
First of 5, that is.
Yeah. In this tournament, we don't give prizes for having a single bingo. You gotta have 5. Now, I like what Kovolta's doing right now. He's checking to see if the TM is right here. And it is not. However, that is a TM that is usually on most cards. Unfortunately, TM04 and TM20 are not on today's card.
He can sell it though for money, which is he's also grabbing that TM10, which is also a little bit extra bit of money.
Also, that's Paris information. That might actually open up a path for Rob here.
Yeah, no, he will definitely. He can have column 2 information right there.
Yeah, so it looks like as it stands, it's row 1, column 2, column 3, TLBR, and row 4 that could potentially lead to a path here.
He also could have row 3 as a potential path if he's going for that.
Yeah, if he tries to go for those TMs, it would be useful. It looks like Kovolta has just defeated the shiny. Nobody decided to catch the shiny today. I'm very sad.
They're saving the frames, Nate. Saving the frames.
Oh, shush. Alright, it looks like Rob has just defeated all the trainers, and that is the first bingo.
Kovolta getting that Pidgey out, and he's going to get an experience share to do that, while Rob is hunting for the TM. Although he's also not biking here. I'm not sure if he remembers you can actually bike on the bottom floor basement of Burn Tower, but just not the top. But he does find it, which is really good for his path.
So based on the goals and everything that we've seen up to this point so far, what would you say would be the fastest path to getting 5 bingos?
That's really a good question. So, I mean, it looks like our runners can probably commit to row 1 with enough money, row 3, column 3, and row 4. And so, sorry, that's row 1 and column 3, column 4, row 4. And I guess the diagonal, top left, bottom right.
That could be very interesting as well, because I feel like I don't know what would be faster, defeating the trainers or going to the top of Tin Tower. It's only 4 fights as opposed to 7, but they usually go by pretty quickly because the trainers are relatively low leveled as well.
I'm not sure. I mean, it's really hard to tell because I mean, no matter what they do, there's a high chance they'll end up with 6 bingos instead because of the placement of the goals.
Yeah, definitely understandable there. Let's check in on Kovolta and see what he's doing here.
He seems to be going through Ice Path. Not quite sure why.
I would think probably because he's gonna go get black glasses, so probably wants to go to the Blackthorn side of Dark Cave to go get black glasses.
Oh right, of course. He has that row 1. I totally forgot.
Yeah, the row 1 would definitely make sense to do for sure, because 2 free item goals there, plus Game Corner folks. And on top of it, Kovolta has Articuno, Zapdos, Moltres info.
Yeah. It also would provide a potential TM in case that's where one of the random TMs are. He is, of course, not aware that that TM came from Burn Tower.
Oh, that's
here's
a baby poke.
for him.
So that's really good for the center goal.
Does Kovolta still have his eggs with him? I don't know which egg, but it might have been the first egg
I don't know.
they shared.
That's a good question, actually. Ooh, that's very good to get it down to a red bar. So that's a guaranteed catch right there for Kovolta. Now, did Kovolta catch a baby poke prior to that? I don't think he did.
I don't think so, since I don't think he saw the Elekid. Although, we did see on Rob's side that there is Magby information on the Route 44 trainers, so that's also a potential way of getting that goal.
Right, and on top of it, he also has Cleffa information.
Which was really obtainable, actually, at Route 33, despite it actually being the egg that Rob hatched.
Yeah, it was just very fortunate that Cleffa was in the egg.
You know, I think I'm starting to remember why. So, I guess Kovolta may or may not be as comfortable with the... Oh no, he seems to be comfortable plenty with the Dark Cave movement for Black Glasses. A lot of the times, people, if you're not comfortable with getting Black Glasses in the dark, will go for that flash.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's actually very nice there for Kovolta. He finds a Poliwhirl inside a Dark Cave.
That gives him the diagonal, which is huge.
Yes, that is very huge. And while that's going on, it looks like Rob is doing 7 trainers on 44, if I'm looking at it correctly.
Yes, he's still working on that still, yep.
Okay.
Oof, Kovolta is struggling a little bit with the movement there.
Yeah, it's never an easy feat to go through Dark Cave without Flash.
Oh, I guess he did.
Yeah, he just got past the 7 trainers there, as we see that it's marked on the card.
Oh, we'll probably have to go back and look at just to verify. I think he did, though. I was looking at the left side of the screen, so I wasn't quite paying attention.
Now that is a Fortress on Rob's screen. Normally counts towards 2 goals, but it is not on today's card.
Oh, and that's really interesting. So this is a level 30 ground encounter you can get in Dark Cave as long as it's daytime. Which is really funny because you would think that the cave doesn't really care about what time of day things are, but just a little tidbit. It's the same for Route 45 as well. That being that the level 30 is an encounter that counter slot is daytime. Otherwise it appears as a lower level. Just to clarify.
Yeah, it only occurs during daytime. But yeah, Kovolta just picked up Black Glasses, and it looks like he's gonna go get Mystic Water now.
Yeah, he's got his row 1 set, and he definitely has information for top left, bottom right. He can do column 3 and row 4, so then he just needs, column 4 to finish up.
Yeah, he's just checking his Poké Dollars right there. Again, just to remind everybody, to buy all 3 Game Corner pokes, you need 48,000 Poké Dollars in order to be able to buy all 3 of the Game Corner pokes.
Ideally, you want 50,000, so you can just buy 500 5 times.
Yeah, that definitely makes the most sense, but that's ideally what you want to go with.
Although it looks like Kovolta may also not be where he can bike in the basement of...
Yeah, looks like it. But we do know that TM46 is here in Burn Tower, so he'll have that very shortly. And there it is.
Hopefully... either that or goes back to catch the bear that he knows has Razor Wind.
Oh yeah, I think that would be the case if you decided to do that.
I'm a little bit curious that, because Rob saw the Articuno, but he's going for the Moltres now.
Yeah, Moltres is not in an ideal spot. Although it is 7 encounters in grass, there's also a small body of water that exists on 45, so technically it's 10 slots.
But he knows what room the Articuno is, so yeah. Although, looks like he's not going for the Game Corner pokes, because he's buying a lot of Pokeballs, or Great Balls. I guess, or changes his mind.
Yeah, ideally you don't want to buy Great Balls because Great Ball catch rates are still the same in Speed Choice as opposed to Pokeballs. It's still 1 in 3 minimum, whereas on Yellow Bar it's like, I think it's 95% and then Red's guaranteed.
Yellow Bar is about 50%. But yeah, no, it's better to buy Pokeballs because all Pokeballs except for Master Ball and Level Ball have the same catching chance.
Yeah, so it wouldn't make sense to buy like Great Balls unless you're doing 5 types of Pokeballs owned.
Or trying to waste your money.
Yeah, or Zero on hand and Mob, which makes sense. Okay, so looks like Rob is going to take the way to Tin Tower here. So he's gonna go fight the Elders.
Where Kovolta is currently, actually. Just finished the first Sage.
Yeah, it's on the second one right now.
I think both runners generally have the same path. Granted that maybe Rob might go for that Paris Net.
Yeah, definitely not a bad idea as well. Also, he was leveling up that Pidgey. Now, that Pidgey is leveled up enough to where it will evolve into Pidgeotto.
Oh, I must have been wrong that it wasn't 16. I guess it's 18? Or...
I believe it's 16, if I remember correctly.
It might have been all throughout the same fight.
Oh, it is 18, okay.
Alright, thank you very much, Garth, for clarifying that it is 18.
Alright, so now Kovolta has their Pidgeotto.
Unfortunately, there's still one more fight right away, so we can't take off the experience share.
Yeah, unfortunately. But yeah, chat, while we have a minute here, I just want to give you guys a heads up. If you guys would like to follow today's runners, be sure to check out both of the runners at twitch.tv/Kovolta and twitch.tv/robthegamer115, as they both are not only participants in the tournament, but they're very good Cinco Bingo players.
Absolutely. And make sure to check out my fellow commentator, Nate, as well as my chat, Snowbear22, if you're looking for more awesome content. As well as checking out the Discord. Thank you to the SpeedGaming, but as well as the Cinco Bingo Discord, where there are races going on a lot of the time.
Ooh, I'm very sorry to interrupt you there. I also want to point out that one of the sages have a Corsola. So that might also be a potential change of path here for Kovolta.
I mean, if it's obtainable, that'd be a very good corner.
Yeah. If I was in
row 5,
if I was in Kovolta's situation, if I was in a situation, I would dex the Corsola immediately before starting the ascent to Tin Tower. But yeah,
I don't think his path changes all that much with the Tin Tower ascent, but that is something to look at.
Oh yeah, definitely. Let's go ahead and switch audio over to Kovolta. Oh, and it has Spite. That's actually an annoying move to deal with because it gets rid of 8 power points anywhere from 2 to 5.
Yes, and the AI actually will know when you're using moves that have low PP and will prioritize using Spite, just so to eliminate your move. It's one of those weird things about the AI, one of those AI kind of underhanded tactics.
Yeah, it's rather irritating when that happens, but just, there's not much you can do about it.
Kovolta is repelling. I can understand why, but at the same time, he got Corsola.
Oh, yeah, so that's not going to change his path at all. So Corsola is only in Whirl Islands.
Which is generally pretty hard to find. I mean, it's not unobtainable. It's just very difficult. I mean,
yeah, it's in one of the worst locations in the game, in my honest opinion.
Even with Dex area beep, it's hard to get since there are so many rooms.
Yeah, it's so many encounter slots as well. You still have to consider, again, 7 slots on ground and then 3 slots in water. So it's 10 encounter slots in total. It's not fun.
Well, per room that has water and ground. There's several rooms that have no water, but there are several rooms that do have water. And some of them are just all over the place. And it looks like Kovolta's going for a couple of the item balls, hoping to find that berry juice elixir.
Oh, hello there, Ammonite. I guess that definitely exists out there. Very free, might I add.
Oof, and Kovolta is going up this way. Is he? Does he? Oh, he does know it is the 9th floor.
Yes,
very
he does.
Good. That's a very quick way of doing it.
Oh, yeah.
I was a little bit confused where he was getting lost.
Oh no, it's a Raichu. Checking a couple encounter slots here, it looks like.
Hoping for something good. Halka's just pleased in the chat here that he's not going for that Raichu. But there is a Zapdos here.
Now that might be big as well for Rob if he encounters that later. Because Rob is also ascending to the 9th floor Tin Tower.
He's also does not have that goal accomplished. So that's huge for Rob if he were to find it.
Yeah, which is why I mentioned it as well, because that is going to really be big towards row 1 and potentially I don't think there's anything else besides that. I think it's just row 1.
Although it is funny to me that Reiko is in Tin Tower. I guess it must have decided it was tired of roaming out in the world and wanted to climb up the tower a bit.
You know, Raikou just wanted to get a good view of Ekrutik from there. So I think Kovolta is also going to check and see what the 60 is.
It's also very convenient since you can fly off the rooftop.
Oh yeah. And it is a Machop. Yeah, he's just gonna reset and then fly.
Reset.
Yeah, not
Very
even worth catching. Just gonna leave it be and just be on their way.
Rob, you can't escape when something uses bind on you. Oops. Unlucky. Unfortunately, one of the things about climbing the tower paralyzed is it makes it harder to run away from Pokemon.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate.
And I think Rob's probably checking a map to see where the 9th floor, the way up to the 9th floor.
Yeah, even for new runners as well, finding the 9th floor. It's a little difficult, but then again, it's not too bad. So, like, right now, he is on the 9th floor.
Correct.
He's not sweet sunning. That's interesting. He finds a Spearow. He doesn't realize that Zapdos is also in Tin Tower. That's actually going to be kind of difficult here, to say the least.
Yeah. And Kovolta is finishing up the trainers in the national park. And off Rob goes. Not even gonna check the Ho-Oh.
Yeah, I don't recommend checking the Ho-Oh either, unless Ho-Oh or Lugia is on the card, and either of the runners still have info on it. Okay, so right now it looks like Rob has 2 bingos, so his path to finish looks like it's going to be Game Corner pokes, Black Glasses, and Mystic Water.
And it looks like he's doing a radio card right now, which means he's potentially going to be looking out for that Paris, Venonat.
And also the Polygraph's Loki, excuse me.
Paris is on Route 31, Slowpoke Well, and Union Cave. So 31 is a very good one.
Yeah,
he's probably going to go for the water. Because it's a higher chance of a slot, but also because it was not marked early.
Yeah, and on top of it as well, it's 3 slots in the water, so it makes it easier to check.
Although, I seem like to be a fool because he has gone instead for the grass.
Yeah, which is very interesting. Alright, Kovolta wrapping up National Park trainers.
Looks like Kovolta is done with the National Park trainers now, which is very good. Maybe he has some more money. Double checking the Cleffa.
Cleffa's in a decent spot there. It's also on Route 44 as well.
33 is definitely superior since it's only grass slots.
Yeah, it's that small patch of grass that's outside of Union that's headed towards Azalea.
It's a little bit hard to tell sometimes, but if you're looking for it, it's slightly off center from the dot, which is how you can tell.
Oh yeah, for sure. An Entei in the grass.
So this is getting really close. It's still anyone's game.
Yeah, it's still a very tight match.
So Rob's fighting that Geodude, but it's going to be hard-pressed to evolve it because that would be level 37 for the Golem, which I think is not realistic.
Yeah, at this point, Rob's going to have to consider checking the water on this route as well.
Our chat definitely does point out that Kovolta will have column 2 with his Poliwhirl that he has, which is very good.
Oh yeah, that's definitely something that you could do to avoid game corner pokes as well.
I think, okay, so Kovolta's path is going to be row 1, column 2, column 3, row 4, and I believe row 5. Actually, no, it would be row 3, since he doesn't seem to remember, or not sure, he's maybe not as sure about his status with the crit rate moves. And there's the Cleffa.
And there's the Cleffa, and there's the Paris for Rob.
Well done for Rob, finding it in the grass.
Wow, it is a very, very close race.
We were asked in the chat, how much does Game Corner cost? Game Corner, it costs 48,000 to get 2,400 coins, which is required for all 3 Pokemon. There is a 100 coin Pokemon, an 800 coin Pokemon, and a 1,500 coin Pokemon. We also, if you have the excess money, it's a little bit preferred to get 2,500 coins because it's a little bit easier menuing.
So while that was going on, Kovolta deciding to evolve the Poliworld to Poliwrath there.
So now they both have 3 bingos each. We have to double check to make sure that Kovolta is not selling the TM46 he picked up. But it looks like he has enough money. Oh, and that's right, he still has that Razorwind TM that he can use to teach a high crit rate move to a Pokemon, which he's doing right now to make sure he absolutely has a high crit rate chance. Actually, this is his finish. He just has to deposit the Pokemon and buy the 3 Game Corner pokes.
Meanwhile, Rob finding a random Golem on 45.
Unfortunately, it's not going to be in time for him to find, unless he gets that Moltres right now. And he's got the coins. He has to buy the Pokemon. Ledian, Suicune, and a Lapras. Very good. Although, he's missing 300 coins.
Yeah, he's missing 300 for the 1,500 coin mon. He's gonna go back and get 300 coins. And all he has to do is just buy the Lapras, and that will be that.
Yep, we'll just wait for his dot done, and that'll be good.
Alright. Chat, get your GGs out. Kovolta finishing with an official
GG.
race time of 1 hour, 51 minutes, and 48 seconds. Congratulations to Kovolta for winning.
We will invite him in now. If he... GG. GG, Kovolta. Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
How does it... Sorry, I think I got you. How does it feel for having 2 wins in your group now?
It feels alright. This felt like a really close race at the end there.
It definitely was. You had a lot of interesting things about the crit rate move. What was going through your mind?
All I knew is that I had the Razorwind TM, and so it didn't really matter what I did. I could always apply that at the end if I needed to.
Yeah. That is very true. Were you aware about the Charmeleon having Slash? And it seems like you taught over at one point a cross chop on, I think, Kenya.
Oh, did I?
I
I wasn't really paying attention to it at that point because I had the Razorwind TM. I didn't actually look at the Charmeleon's moveset. I just saw that it had headbutt, and that's about it.
Very good.
Yeah, that Charmeleon did come with Slash, which was a enhanced crit rate move, so it would have counted towards the goal as well. But to be fair, you also had that Razorwind TM that you started with, so either way, you would have had the goal regardless.
I think your bear might have also, the bear you caught in contest, might have also still had Razorwind still.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, GG. Yeah, this was really good.
Very fun race indeed.
Do you have any other kind of questions or thoughts about this?
It felt like I was really low on info the whole time. And then I guess I kind of had a path once I had the poly world, but I didn't see the diagonal. And so I was still trying to look for something else, but after I saw the Paris, I realized I had the diagonal, and so I just went for that.
Very good, yeah. Very good. Yeah, you got really good with the info, actually. We're not... which is really funny, Rob actually had his egg hatch into Cleffa. Do you...
I was debating on whether I should keep the egg in case it was a baby, but... Yeah, there you go.
And then another thing also, there was a baby mon that was very early. I think it was on 31, if I remember correctly.
On Route 32.
On 32, and then Magby, I think, was on 31 as well.
Yeah, we saw the Magby when Rob went back for the Paris there.
Yeah, I don't think I saw either of those. So,
so I just was wondering, so you climbed up the full Sprout Tower for Flash. Was it just to get all and make sure you had enough levels?
Yeah, just to make sure I had enough.
Black glasses as well.
Nah, I was just doing it for the levels.
Yeah, so definitely saw you come back from behind, whereas Rob sort of sped through. You slowly, kind of, but surely got through with your bear.
Right.
What was your thoughts on finding the bear in the contest, though? That was... We had a lot of laughs here.
A little annoyed, but I mean, it won the contest for me, so...
And at some point, I think chat was saying something about depositing the Papa Bear.
Yeah, they wanted to keep the family together.
I spent a little extra time in the contest trying to look for the Pidgeotto, because I assume Rob found it in there, but...
He did. He actually won with it, although that was a really slim chance to win, but he did win with it. But you got that Pidgey on Route 35, so that was much easier for you.
The Quillfish doesn't exist as well. The Quillfish was both Whirl Islands and Mount Silver.
Oh boy.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, Corsola.
I mean, if I hadn't seen the Paris and realized that I had the diagonal anyways, I would have been going to Whirl Islands after I caught my baby, but...
It looks like Rob is not going to get the game credit pokes, as he just spent all of his money.
Oh.
Is he doing what I think he's doing?
I mean, as Hulk points out, it is a little bit somewhat viable to get Pokemon in Whirl Island, although I'm not as much on that train.
Same.
I'll do it if I need to.
I would only do it out of sheer desperation.
But yeah, I don't know if we have. I don't know if I have any more questions. Nate, do you have any more questions?
I think we're basically all set there. I don't think there's really anything else.
Thank you so much, Kovolta, for the interview.
Thank you.
It looks like Rob's gonna try to finish this card out. He's very close in, so that's very reasonable.
Yeah, he just only needs one goal, and he's just basically looking for the Quillfish at this point.
So as long as there's nothing going on in the rest of this channel, it should be okay.
Yeah, I think we should be fine here. Yeah, let's hope that Rob finishes here. He's gonna do Dex area beep, and he's gonna check and see where that Quillfish is.
And this is the last game for today. There are a couple more games coming up tomorrow. We have tomorrow. We have Easton versus NJ at 9 in the morning on 9 in the morning Eastern Standard Time. We also have Tom versus Kirito at 2 p.m. in the afternoon, followed by at 7 p.m. we have two races simultaneously at 7 o'clock with Horse versus Rob the Gamer and Gamer versus Furious Magic.
That Gamer and Furious Magic matchup I'm looking forward to. Well, it looks like Rob the Gamer has stopped, maybe?
He might be just Dex area beeping, as both course lines are in Whirl Islands. Or he might be deciding not to finish, but
Or,
no, he's still going.
or unless he's looking at the map for Whirl Islands and seeing where he has to navigate.
And he's resetting, uh-oh.
I think the reason why is because... Oh.
He might be looking for in a different room.
Oh, this is definitely interesting.
You got your wish, Hulk.
Oh no, and he hits an optional.
Maybe it'll have information on a poke he needs.
I think if I was in Rob's shoes, instead of having to go to Whirl Islands and try to catch the Corsola Quillfish, I would have just caught the Poliwhirl that... I think he encountered a Poliwhirl earlier, correct? Oh, those stats on the Ursaring, no!
Still a champ, still a champ.
It is still a champ, but those stats are awful.
Workable. But yeah, I think our chat has... It's definitely mixed, you know... Royal Islands is definitely more ingrained to people as unreasonable. It is just a little bit more difficult because of the layout, and it's very easy to get not only lost, but also unable to access certain areas without going in and out of the various islands.
Still no Dex area beat for either the Corsola or the Quillfish. If I had to take a guess, he never checked Lugia's room.
Correct. He hasn't checked that. He also hasn't checked the room that's... Well, I guess he did just check the room that's on the way to it there.
Yeah.
There's also a room once you go down the waterfall, on the way to exit the area with Lugia's room. There's also encounters, I believe, there as well.
And I do give respect to Rob for trying to finish this out.
Absolutely, he's so very close. I would have probably I think the better goal would have been to try and get the game corner pokes, just scrounging around for items. But this getting either Corsola or Quillfish will instantly finish him. Although then again, he just needs any one more bingo to finish, since he has 4.
Still no Dex area
still
beat.
no luck with the area room. No! Oh,
If
no,
I'm gonna
sir.
take a guess on where it is, it's definitely gotta be in Lugia's room.
I'm guessing that bridge connector room between that you have to go on the way out.
Yeah, that would be my guess, because that counts as a separate room with encounters.
Yeah, this is why I still do not advocate going to Whirl Islands. You might get lucky, or you might get very, very unlucky. The way to access the most rooms is through the top right room, so not only are you able to only access Lugia's room from that area, but you're also able to access all the other locations from there.
Do you see Rob narrowly avoiding that spinner there? That spinner is the worst spinner that you can possibly hit right there.
6 pokes.
Which is a Hail Mary shot if you're trying to go for information on any Pokemon that you might not have.
Come on, Rob, you can do this. Finish strong. Go to the Lugia. Alright, so now he's saving to check the main room here, which he might have already checked before, but he's checking this room. Which is not the way to the Lugia, by the way. This is the main room that connects all 4 of the islands.
Yeah. He checked there already. There is no info on the Quillfish or the Corsola there.
I mean, he can get information going through that little ladder hole, but there's a couple of different areas elsewhere. Which he might be going to right now, which I think he... But who knows? And there's a Waterstone to tease. I do advocate for Royal Islands having a map open just to know which rooms are which. We have a little map tracker that we often use for the item randomizers, but also there are a couple nice game facts or FAQ maps from way back when.
Let's see what Rob decides to do here. Oh, he's resetting his path again. Oh, he's checking... Looks like the Southwest Island?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know about this one.
I'm sort of at a loss of words.
Yeah. We'll definitely have to talk to him about that at some point. Yeah, like the only spot that he's not checked was Lugia's room. Which counts as a separate encounter spot in Whirl Islands. Oh, and he hits that same optional again.
Come on, Rob, you got this. Finish strong, please.
Come on, buddy, please. Just go to Lugia's room. Lugia's room is always the right play.
Or that connector. Either way. Hey,
there it is.
We have a text area peep. Now, I wasn't totally paying attention at this point. Is this one with only ground slots, or does this one have some water too?
This has water as well. That connector that goes down to Lugia's room, it's 7 slots on ground, 3 slots on water. He finds Slow King instead.
Unfortunately, that's the one Pokemon goal that does not finish him right away. But you can always get Black Glasses or the Mystic Water to finish.
Mystic Water would definitely be the way to finish.
He might just escape rope out here.
I don't disagree.
Or rather, dig out. Very good.
Came here for the Corsola. Finds a Slow King instead.
I think that summarizes Bingo a lot of time, where you'll go for one thing and find something entirely else.
That's exactly how I am. But finally, Rob gets Mystic Water and he has his 5
GG.
bingos. GG's in the chat for Rob, finishing with an official race time of 2 hours, 9 minutes, and 43 seconds. Congrats to both of our runners. Let's see if we can get Robin for a brief interview.
Yep. You sending him the invite? Yep, and here he is. GG's, Rob.
Who would have thought the Slow King would have been the end?
Boy, yeah.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You were Dex area beeping the Corsola, only to find the Slow King there.
I was Dex beeping both Corsola and Quillfish, because both of them were in Whirl Islands.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it.
And, go figure, and then next thing I know, Slow King appears. I'm like, well, that works too, I guess. I got Mystic Water, sure.
Yeah.
So I need to practice my Whirl Islands movement.
Yeah. Were you aware, for example, you could bike in the basement? I know you took a little bit of time to remember we had started with bike.
Dude, so, for those, if you don't know, I usually do full item rando, not Cinco. So, I've been having a bad habit of remembering to bike at the beginning.
Yeah, it definitely makes sense as well.
In the basement of what? The Burn Tower, you mean?
Yeah, you can bike there.
Burn Tower.
It's just unsafe on the top floor.
Yeah, I do remember that. I don't know. My mind is elsewhere. Sometimes I don't think about if I should be biking or not.
Either way, GG.
Yeah, I give you a lot of respect for finishing there, so that's all that matters.
I mean, it's one of those things where, like, I've done Whirl Islands, and I was like, I haven't done it in a couple months, so I was like, oh man, I knew I was doing something wrong, and I couldn't figure out what it was, so I'm watching this video. And all of a sudden, I'm like, oh, the top one, not the bottom one, because I thought it was at the right entrance to go to the Lugia.
The way to the Lugia is through the top right.
Yeah.
Island, then going through up and to the right, not
right. But I kept trying down in the right, and that's what was throwing me off.
Yeah. So there's a couple of different extra rooms. In fact, beneath the Lugia's room, there's also a different connector room. There's different connector rooms.
Yeah. No, I knew that. That's why, like, when I couldn't figure out what I was doing wrong with Lugia's room, I said, alright, well, let me try the different entrance rooms. Maybe I'll get somewhere there.
Yeah.
But I just really made me
GG, though. Thanks for going this. Tough loss, but hopefully...
It was close.
Hey, it's only your first loss of the group stage, but hey, you still got 3 more matches available. So anything could possibly happen. So, again, just don't let that one loss discourage you or anything.
Nah,
it was very much a close race, and we look forward to seeing you in the future.
Yeah. What was Kovolta's main?
He was running the Ursaring. Actually, there was also a female one, just like yours.
So I was probably gonna run Ursaring until what did I catch that headbutt? Charmeleon,
you caught a dugong with headbutt and ran that.
No, well, I caught a dugong by using headbutt. I'm trying to remember what I caught that had headbutt.
I think it was I don't remember. Regardless.
All I know is that was the first time I ever used headbutt strap.
Oh, were you aware that Razor Wind was a high crit move? I know when we initially checked it, I think I marked it off just to make sure you were aware because it was shown to us.
It wasn't, at the moment, I wasn't thinking too much about it. The move goals are definitely some of the weaker ones. So when you marked it off, I was like, oh, was Razor Wind high crit? And then I looked at the list and I said, yeah, that's why. Okay.
Yeah, not only did you start with the TM, there was Razor Wind on the bear. And it seemed like every Pokemon, like the Charmeleon has Slash, everything seemed to have a high crit move. Or, sorry,
we got a lot of those early on.
Yeah, there was quite a bit. There was, I think there was a couple of mons that had like Cross Chop, Karate Chop. There was Slash on the Charmeleon.
Yeah, I think even the Pidgeotto you caught. Oh, were you aware that was a 15% chance to win with that Pidgeotto? Much less than the other 2 you caught?
No. I was not aware of that. The issue I had, so that bug catching contest, I was really stressed because I'm sure you guys noticed I forgot to save before it.
Yeah,
I noticed that at first.
So I was like, This is gonna be tight. And I don't know much about the bug catching stuff. I know HP is like the biggest factor.
It is, but it just takes into effect
So-
general stats as well. You had a the highest chance with that gold bat with around 42%, and then the jump bluff was about a 40% victory.
Oh, okay. And I went for the 15.
Hey, it
Those
paid
are both
off for you.
swag strats, no there. Alright. It's all the
Hey,
swag
I mean,
strats.
you were going for the big game brainer strats, all the
Mhm.
flying types, and that egg hatching. Let's talk about that.
Oh my god, I was shocked at how early that hatched. I was like, if it hatched this early, is it a baby poke? And I was like, oh, geez, it actually is. That's convenient.
Yeah, which is really interesting because Snowbear and I were very hyped about that Cleffa hatching out of the egg.
Oh my god, that's actually... Snowbear would know. That's 2 Cincos in a row where I lucked out on the egg.
Oh, I am still upset very much about last night.
Snowbear 100% approves of those strats.
I do
Yeah,
though.
no.
I do approve of those strats. I don't know if I know we're kind of dragging a little bit longer, but I don't know if we have any more. I have any more questions. Do you have anything, Nate?
I think we're basically all set and ready to go there. But with that said, Rob, thank you very much for joining us for the interview. Thank you again for participating, and GG's on the race. It was great watching you finish.
Yeah, we'll get to go again tomorrow. Let's go.
Yep. We'll see you. We'll see you then.
Mhm.
Thank you, everyone. Make sure to give all of our runners a follow, and my fellow commentator Nate follow, as well as me if you'd like to care. And keep your eyes out on the next games, which will be there's several of them tomorrow. So keep your eye out on the Speed Gaming channel. So thank you for Speed Gaming for hosting us.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for watching, everybody, and have yourselves a pleasant evening, day, wherever you are. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you next time. So long, everyone.
Bye bye.